Decision about forgiveness. In life, there are moments when you must make important decisions that affect your self-esteem, honor, and future. One of those decisions is to not forgive certain betrayals. Betrayal is not an accident or an unintentional mistake. It is a conscious choice to deceive, hurt, and break trust. The wounds from betrayal are not always healable, and forgiveness is not always the right solution. When you face these betrayals, remember that your peace, self-respect, and soul depend on upholding your principles. Forgiveness is not just a way to mend relationships. It is also an opportunity to protect yourself from future harm. You do not need to continue opening your heart to those who have previously hurt you. Forgiveness should not become an obligation or responsibility. It should be a privilege reserved for those who truly deserve it. Those who betrayed you will never truly appreciate your kindness and forgiveness if they continue to repeat those actions. Instead of forgiving those who have betrayed you, consider the possibility of walking away from them to maintain your self-respect and dignity. This is a time for you to affirm your worth and decide that no one has the right to hurt you any longer. Deception. Deception is one of the most serious forms of betrayal in relationships. It is not merely a lie. It is a conscious decision to hurt another person and break trust. When someone deceives you, they not only violate your trust, but also undermine your safety and confidence. Deception can begin with small lies, but if it becomes a habit, the consequences can be severe. Many people believe that deception can be forgiven and that everyone deserves a second chance. However, it is essential to ask yourself, how many times does a deceiver genuinely change? Those who have made lying a part of their nature are unlikely to change simply because you forgive them. They will only change when they have something to lose. When you forgive lies, you teach them that your trust has no value, that they can continue to deceive without facing consequences. The truth is that deceivers often do not feel remorse for their actions. They only regret getting caught. A genuinely remorseful person does not wait to be caught. They proactively admit their mistakes. Therefore, it is crucial to recognize and reject lies. You have the right to protect yourself from those who are unworthy. And sometimes the best thing you can do is to distance yourself from people who have made you doubt yourself. Disrespect. Disrespect is one of the forms of betrayal that many people often do not immediately recognize. It is not only rude comments or offensive actions, but also the disregard for the feelings and experiences of others. This type of disrespect can manifest as lighthearted remarks, jokes, or careless gestures that may not seem serious. However, if left unchecked, it can gradually erode your relationship. When you share your concerns, pain, or feelings and the other person responds with mockery, indifference, or disregard, it is not just disrespect. It is an erasure of your worth. These actions may start small, but if allowed to continue, they can lead to feelings of worthlessness and being disrespected, making you feel insignificant in their life. Respect is the foundation of any relationship, whether it is friendship, love, or family. Without respect, every expression of love becomes meaningless, and every connection is merely an empty promise. Those who genuinely respect you do not need to be reminded or taught how to treat you. They naturally appreciate you and what you bring to the table. When you realize that you are not receiving the respect you deserve, you have the right to choose to walk away from that relationship. You do not need to continue accepting disrespect, and you deserve to be treated with love and kindness. Pain and suffering. One of the most challenging aspects we face in relationships is the pain and suffering caused by betrayal. Not all wounds can be healed, and some betrayals leave deep scars that are hard to forget. These wounds not only affect your emotions, but also harm your self-esteem and trust in others. When someone has consciously hurt you, forgiving them is not an easy act. Forgiveness should not become an obligation or responsibility. It should be a privilege for those who truly deserve it. If someone has hurt you repeatedly without any sign of remorse, you have every right to refuse to forgive them. Forgiveness may require you to accept past hurts and pretend that everything is normal, which can cause even more pain for yourself. The truth is that you are not responsible for bearing the mistakes of others. They have made their choices, and you should not carry the burden of their wrong decisions. Sometimes, the best thing for your mental and emotional health is to refuse to forgive and choose the path of healing for yourself. Choosing not to forgive the hurts you have endured does not mean you are weak. On the contrary, it is a demonstration of strength and self-respect. You deserve to have a life free from the influence of those who have caused you pain. Remember that choosing to live for yourself and protecting your heart is the most important thing you can do. Your own choices in life. You always have the right to choose for yourself. Sometimes, the most important choice you can make is to decide to walk away from relationships that no longer bring value to your life. Recognizing your worth and not accepting harmful actions from others is crucial. If you feel that you are no longer respected or loved, it is time to ask yourself whether it is worth continuing that relationship. Choosing to leave does not mean you are failing or becoming weak. In fact, letting go of those who have hurt you is a powerful act that demonstrates self-respect. You do not need to wait for those who do not value you to recognize your worth. Sometimes, the best thing you can do for yourself is to sever ties with toxic relationships, even if it means leaving behind some good memories. Relationships should be built on mutual respect, love, and support. If you find that someone is only there for you when it is convenient or when you can benefit them, then they do not deserve your love and sacrifice. Those who genuinely value you will always stand by you in difficult times and will never make you question your worth. Choosing to leave those who do not respect you is not only a decision to protect yourself, but also a journey to find those who truly deserve your love. Always remember that you have the right to demand respect and should not endure pain from anyone. Standing up for yourself and seeking happiness is the most important thing you can do for yourself. Lessons from relationships. Throughout your life journey, not everyone is meant to stay forever. Some people may come into your life as valuable lessons, teaching you important things about yourself and how you deserve to be treated. These relationships may not last long, but the lessons they bring can be profound and beneficial. When you realize that not everyone intends to remain in your life, you will feel a sense of relief and be more open to new connections. An essential part of learning from relationships is recognizing that you do not need to prove your worth to anyone. Those who truly love and cherish you will naturally see your value without you needing to convince them. Sometimes, struggling to be accepted or loved only adds to feelings of hurt and disrespect. Remember, you do not have to make anyone see your worth. The right people will come and stay without needing to beg or plead. When you accept that some people are just temporary lessons in life, it becomes easy to let go of toxic relationships. You do not need to regret or feel guilty when saying goodbye to those who do not appreciate you. Instead, focus on those who can bring you joy, respect, and the support you deserve. Understanding that not everyone is meant to stay will make you stronger and help you value genuine connections in life. Ultimately, meaningful relationships will help you grow and become the best version of yourself. Be open to new opportunities and seek those who can accompany you on your path to personal growth. Conclusion: your life is a journey where you have the right to decide who will accompany you. Anthony Hopkins emphasizes that not everyone who has betrayed you deserves forgiveness. Forgiveness is not an obligation. It is a privilege reserved for those who truly deserve it. Sometimes, choosing not to forgive those who have hurt you is a way to protect yourself, preserving your respect and dignity. Refusing to forgive does not mean you are weak. On the contrary, it is a manifestation of strength and self-respect. When you realize that some relationships do not deserve your investment, you create space for those who genuinely appreciate and love you. You have the right to live in peace, free from the pain inflicted by those who have harmed you in the past. Forgiveness can lead to new pain if you have pretend that everything is normal while still carrying the wounds of the past. You do not need to wait for others to acknowledge their mistakes or feel remorse. What matters is that you prioritize your own peace. Finally, remember that you are not responsible for carrying the pain of others. Recognizing that some people do not deserve forgiveness helps you liberate yourself from burdens. Take the time to seek and build genuine relationships where you are loved and respected as you should be. Life is too short to waste on those who betrayed you. Move forward, protect your heart and your worth, and live a fulfilling life with meaningful connections.